welcome everybody to day number 5, show number 5 for the Dota show. And today we're doing the challenge day. And so essentially the way this day is going to work, every week on Thursdays, we're going to have a challenge day. We submit a challenge to you guys, the viewers, and you try to complete the challenge. So at the end of today, we're going to have another challenge for you. We'll let you all know in chat. We'll probably publicize it in the other shows next week as well. And you'll have a week to try and complete that challenge. Everybody submits their replays. You don't have to email the actual replay file, just the replay IDs. And you can email those to thedotashow@gmail.com. That's really the best place to send them. And then whichever one we think is either the funniest or the most instructive or otherwise the best to cast, we will take that replay and we will cast it. So that's the challenge. And this week we have the 5-minute AFK challenge.
Right.
A pretty tough one, I have to say.
5-minute AFK, just as it sounds, you at the beginning of the game AFK as a team of 5 in your base for 5 minutes. You do nothing. You don't send out treants, you don't send out rockets. You just do nothing until that 5-minute point comes. And of course, on the other side, they have been playing for a long time already, so it's a little bit rough for you. And unfortunately, we gave away the challenge. Everybody thought it was fun, and even I had people say, "Hey man, I played this challenge. Here's a couple of replays, blah blah blah." But of the replay that we received, unfortunately, it's kind of nothing was actually that good. But actually, the big problem was because I actually never really gave or publicized the email enough. You're supposed to send a replay to thedotashow@gmail.com. thedotashow@gmail.com. So that for next week, for a heads up, please send your replay ID there.
Yeah, so again, like we were saying, at the end of today, we'll have another challenge for you guys. But for now, we have the 5-minute AFK challenge. And just so we're clear, it's 5 minutes from that 0-minute mark when the first creep wave spawns. Units are not allowed to leave your base. You're not allowed to send treants out. If you're clockwork, you can't throw a rocket out. Nothing can leave that mountain area, the base area, until that 5-minute mark. So when it says 5:00, that's when we're allowed to leave the confines of the base. Now, what I will say is this is a damn hard challenge, Lumi, and well, this was our first time attempting it, our only time attempting it, and it's very instructive. I will say that much.
Yep. Actually, I mean, since we're going to be AFKing for 5 minutes in the beginning too anyways, right? So we got a lot of time to actually talk. So are you at 4:17 pause?
Go ahead, unpause. Yep,
all
ready
right.
to go.
Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. So we, all right. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so, I mean, as we are just kind of AFK in our base, what are some of the things that are concerning you since we're going to be AFKing for 5 minutes against players that might be actually pretty good, like Sexy Bambo from Mouseboard?
Well, there's a couple of things to consider. One of them is the opponent's team and what they're going to be able to do at this time, and another is your team and what you're missing out on. Now, if you look at our lineup, the first thing I noticed right off the bat is we have a Storm Spirit, a hero who is just not useful until he hits level 6, especially when he's going to be way behind. In addition to the Storm Spirit, we also have the Shadow Shaman, very level dependent. Obviously, you want to get those wards up as quickly as possible. And I guess the last hero who is quite level dependent is that Ursa Warrior. Although you don't think of him as a very level dependent hero, he really does need a bunch of points of Fury Swipes, at least 1 point in Overpower, as well as a point in Rage before he can really hit his potential for damage. So as far as levels go, well, off the bat, we don't necessarily have the best lineup for this challenge.
We certainly do not, and they have some heroes that aren't the best in terms of laning presence. I mean, actually look at them. They have 4 melee heroes, and the fact that they're going to see nothing in lane means they could do whatever the hell they want. We're not going to be harassing them. They could, do stack pulls to get as much gold and EXP out of the map as possible. So we are not going into this game favorably, especially when they have some sick farming heroes like Anti-Mage, Invoker, and Juggernaut's not too bad. So, yeah, this is going to be a challenge, nonetheless.
Yeah, it definitely is. Do we want to fast forward through this pause, or do you want to... Yeah, we can let it roll. Okay, so I guess that's the first thing to consider, is obviously the levels are going to be an issue. And you mentioned how their lineup really isn't that strong in the laning phase. They're fairly difficult to kill. Juggernaut with his magic immunity, Anti-Mage with Blink, and Earthshaker very strong defensively. Invoker, a 600 range hero, can be quite difficult to lock down. But he's not going to be forced to go for any sort of early defensive build. So, if you're this Radiant lineup, you can play differently. You can be greedy. You can rush items that you might not otherwise be able to. You can group up if you want to go for towers. They have a lot of options at their disposal. And I guess the question is, we've talked a lot about how sort of the advantages for them, the disadvantages for us. What sort of a game plan should we have had going into this game? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, to me, the number one thing is to get Storm Spirit to level 6. To me, that's the most important.
Right, that is the most important thing. And to be honest, we have to spread out and not die. Like, we have to actually... It's okay if you're going to be down 3 or 4 levels. But if you're down 3 or 4... Ooh, nice and pause timing thing. But if you're going to down 3 or 4 levels and you keep dying and then feed on more levels, that doesn't help. So, the most important thing for us is not to die. And, I mean, one thing that you also pointed out is what should our item be, right? We are going to sit in Fountain for a bit. So... in the 5-minute mark, we're going to leave the base with about 800 gold. So I don't think you actually start out with your standard, a tango, a salve, and, a lot of stats. Right. You actually have to get something else different.
Well, I mean, in my case, I think I opt for an early pair of boots, and my thinking was, we're up against the Juggernaut, we're up against a Pudge. These are heroes that need to be next to you to do most of their damage. Probably want to be able to walk away from them. So for me, I think I opt for an early pair of boots, and I would argue that's a decent choice. You mentioned the consumables not being helpful, and it's a great point because, well, we want to try and have a laning phase after this 5-minute mark, but realistically, we might not get one. You can already see for the Radiant side, they're starting to do some damage to the tower. It's only a minute in, they've already done 120 damage to this bottom tower. Anti-mage free fire up top. So, if you want to go for those early items that help keep you alive, I think boots is a great choice. Something like a Quelling Blade that you might get on a melee hero that wants to farm, you're probably not going to get in this game because realistically, are you really going to be able to last hit the creeps? I don't think so.
Yep. Quelling Blade, I guess, nice to cut out Furion trees, but as you see, there's no Furion in this game. This is going to be a good moment to introduce the players on both sides. We have Mouse Sexy Bambo playing the Juggernaut, 715 playing the Pudge, KFC, I think that's just KFC or maybe Trace, I'm not too sure, because they keep switching their tag. But KFC on the Earthshaker. On the mid lanes, Ghetto Lobster going for Exort Bill, who unfortunately... I mean, it's a very difficult lane for him, lasting against no one who only has 5 creep kill with the Exorbial. I know it's pretty tough, but, yeah, he's dealing with it. And on the top lane here, we have Wedgie playing the Anti-Mage, who's doing a little bit better, 11-0.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, it's one of those things where, most players, especially decent players, will tell you that they can last hit every creep in a wave if they're left to their own devices. You absolutely should be able to get every single last hit. Even a hero like Invoker, sometimes you might be shooting uphill, but the lane's empty. They knew about this challenge going into the game. They knew the lane was going to be empty, so, I mean, to me, that's the glaring case, but, even the Anti-Mage, as well as last hitting 15 CS 2.5 minutes in, I think he might have missed a creep or two, even one. I mean, and it's not, it's one of these things where it's probably not going to matter in this game, but it's a skill to work on, and, a challenge like this can really sort of open your eyes to things you thought you were good at. But really, you should be perfect at last hitting, and especially when you don't have competition. There's no reason to miss. I mean, yeah, you're human, you make mistakes, but really want to try and limit them. So
I want to say
they're opting for an early push here bottom.
I want to say that they are very afraid because they think we're doing this very elaborate gank, so that's why they're
a troll.
Except they are stream sniping at this time because they knew we were gonna do a 5-minute AFK challenge because I was streaming this as well. And despite that, look, Wedge is starting with the Tangos and Salve because they're going to get harassed, right? Invoker is starting with Tango and Salve because, man, those creeps will lay a beating on you. And Wedge complains, this ain't Dota. Tier 1 tower goes down 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. A lot of replays I actually saw. There's very little tower pushing by the team that's not AFKing. They kind of just sat there and farm. But, yeah, Mouse, Sexy Bamboo doing the correct thing, leading that push, trying to get those early towers.
Yeah, getting the early towers is definitely the most important thing. If you look at this lineup, I mean, we are pretty gankable. Everyone on this team can be killed. We don't have anyone with a blink. We don't have anyone with great survivability like a Morphling. Storm is very difficult to kill once he hits 6, but they know we're going to come out of the base at level 1 5 minutes in and have no escape mechanisms. The only real strong defensive spell we have is Disruption, and it's a level 1 Disruption. The banish duration is the same, the illusions are going to be weaker, and most importantly, the cooldown is a lot higher. So we're not really a great defensive lineup. If you knock down the early towers, you have those item and level advantages. But what are we really going to be able to do? I mean, we can't leave the base, at least not easily. And the less towers you have, we've all seen this before in pro matches, even where they're not doing the 5-minute AFK challenge. You don't have that map control, it becomes very dangerous to go and farm or get levels anywhere.
Yeah, for anyone that just joined the stream and wondering what the hell this is about, this is the 5-minute AFK challenge. Every Thursday, we have a special challenge for the viewers. And this is a replay that we select this time because there weren't too much submission. And we are approaching the 5-minute mark. Just before we exit out of the base on the dire side, I want to quickly pull out the gold and EXP difference. It's about a 5,000 gold lead for the Radiant. Actually, it's up to about 7,500 EXP lead for the Radiant. And as we see in pro games, when there's one team that's having this kind of lead and this early, it's kind of like game over. But, you know, this is why there's a challenge involved. This is supposed to be very, very hard.
Alright, so you're going to see some weird things happen in this bottom lane, but you'll notice how on position, which I would argue is the correct way to play, very far back until finally the creep wave sword dies. Now I'm actually approaching the creep wave. Probably a bad idea. In comes Wicked. We have 3 heroes. Wicked immediately gets Fisher drops on 2. Disruption nice defensively. Sven's done actually hitting 2, but the Blade Fury comes in and just chopping both of those heroes up. You can see just how squishy we are. And well, bad positioning by our team. I was not in a great position. Wicked was the one who ate the hook, and Disruption is a nice defensive spell, but when you don't have those boots, or even if you do, it's just not enough.
I think you had boots, right? On our team, actually.
Yeah, he did too. Wicked had boots too, actually.
Everybody had boots. Stormspirit didn't have boots. I didn't have boots on the top lane, because we knew that we're basically going to be trying to get some EXP, trying to get some farm. But yeah, despite the boots, all they needed was one Fissure and a Blade Fury, basically dead, right? We're level 1 heroes against our level 4 or 5. Yes, no joke. Bo, by the way, thinks he's mad balls. He does kill a ward. But going back to what you talked about earlier, we just can't die. And we already gave up 2 kills.
And that's the one thing we did. You know, again, that's the first blood, so it's not just a normal kill where you're giving up. We're not really giving up experience. That's the one thing going our way, because we're all level 1 when we die. Or in my case, I guess level 2. You probably don't die here. So we're not giving up experience, but we're giving up a huge amount of gold. That's 600 more gold in their pockets. And if we actually had anything in our banks, which we shouldn't have, well, it's gone now. You're going to see I bought a smoke right away, and now that I look back on it, this was kind of a mistake. I thought maybe we could set up a kill, and getting a single kill this early, if you can get it, would be amazing, because, well, they're level 6, 7, even 4 or 5. We're going to get a couple of levels off that, but realistically, we probably can't get a kill. So, you know, it goes back to that money management. You really want to make your item purchases count.
Actually, I mean, if you go back to think about how they change... Oh, it looks like there's a Stormbow, a little bit harassed on the bot lane. It looks like you guys are going to make a kill, and 715 misses a hook. 715 not too good at playing Dota in general, and not going to get the kill. But, you know how Icefrog changed the EXP formula? Whereas back in the day, if you get a 3 versus 1 gank, you get a lot more EXP. In a game like this where the EXP has been changed, you don't get any EXP, even if you set up a 3-man gank. So, I mean, you might be killing level 5 hero, but you're not going to get too much out of it, so.
You get something. You get a lot less than you used to, but when it's that big of a level discrepancy, even though you're not getting a large portion of that experience, it's still, you're so under-leveled that you're going to get at least a level out of it, I would say. Like, if we killed this Invoker right now, we'd get a good chunk. We'd probably all get 1 more level, which is a big deal this early, but... you're going to see a roam attempt here, and, well, whether you think you'll get a lot of experience for this gank or not, it's going to be hard to kill this guy off. We'll have to see how it pans out, but I have a bad feeling about this gank, and Sexy Bambo, Invis, heading towards the mid lane. Poor Blitz, caught out, Cold Snap, Blade Fury, he's not getting away from this one. Although he might try, 1 more right click does the trick. And that roam gank, amounting to nothing. One other thing I got to point out, the Radiant have not opted for any wards.
Why you need wards?
Well, you can kill these people, you know? You can kill these level 2 heroes who are trying to leave their lane.
Well, guess what Bamboo's doing right now? He's actually going to kill me on the top. One thing, looks like we have a little bit of engagement on the mid lane here. Get a Lobster. It's going to get trapped. Is he going to kill Bo before doing so? Yes, he will. But I guess trading 1 for 1 is completely worth it. On the top here, Bamboo does pick LuminousInverse off. I don't think we actually introduced a player Invoker buys back. I have no idea why, but I was playing the Ursa. Wicked is playing, are we actually fighting this? Are we fighting this double damage punch? I don't think... Well, okay. We're fighting it.
It is a 7-1 high punch, and you said he can't actually hit a hook. We're about to find out. He doesn't need to if he just walks up Rod, and there's another kill. I think this was the part of the game where Blitz was saying, stop trying to kill them, stop trying to fight. Sexy Bambo is actually going to feed here, I believe. No, the Omni Sled! And will he survive? Not going to. Wicked off of that, level 5 now, leading the team, or at least tied for it. And he was 2 before that engagement, so if you do get those kills, trading kills at this point is great for our team. If you're behind in Dota, whether you're way behind like we are, or even just slightly behind, trading kills will generally be in your favor.
Oh yeah, trading kills is always good if you're not playing that well, and of course we're not playing that well. But going back to the player introduction, I was on the Ursa. Wicket from Dota-Academy.com. Oh, is playing the Shadow Demon, and Luminous gets hooked in Fissure, and he's basically dead. Sven's going to be handled by LD, coming here to get a little bit of assistance and getting all his mana drained. Stormsphere, our MVP, our best player by far, is being handled by Root Blitz. And we have Bode, one of our moderators, who's actually watching the game right now, handling the Shadow Shaman. I must say, Bode is a heavy feeder.
Uh-oh, I'm in a little bit of trouble up top. Blade Fury, there is no Omni Slash, but do I know it is the question. Earn charges drop. Shadow Shaman comes in only level 2. Really not able to offer a whole lot, and that Healy Ward helping to keep them alive. Lumi charges in. Can he actually get a raid? The early phase boots, such a great pickup. We can talk about that in a second. But Storm, level 6, has joined the fight. We want to get a pick off here. The Radiant really overextended, and this is how we should be fighting. If you're going to go for kills, it's got to be when they're diving, when they're overextended. It was a pretty nice bait by myself, if I don't say so. But, you know, in the end, we get 1 kill. Score is still 8-3. Experience and gold-wise, we are way behind, and frankly, that graph, it's stabilized, but it's not moving in our direction.
Well, and it's gonna, let me tell you, spoiler, it's gonna be up there for a long while. Now, one of these things, when you're down in a very, very difficult situation, as there's an invisible shaker, thank God he has no ultimate right now, is that you want to change up your skill build a little bit. Wicked, I think this is actually the correct thing to do. You level up Poison. Generally, you level up Soul Catcher, and, I mean, to be honest, you could make a case of leveling Soul Catcher here as well to make your damage a little bit better, but Poison might just be a little bit more useful because we can actually get more Poison stacks out. I have to say though, Bo is not going for the correct build because...
Well, the other thing about the Poison, I want to agree with you and reiterate that, is the Poison has really long range, and you don't want to be anywhere near these spheres. As I say that, Wicked gets fissured and then hooked out, Sunstrike to follow, and that's going to secure the kill. Wicked made that one a little easy. When you're up against that Sunstrike Invoker, generally you want to be juking as much as possible. And well, you were talking about Bode's build not being the best, and I have to agree with you. Leveling up Shackles in a game like this, chance of you getting to channel that very slim.
Yep, and you can see that level 1 Hexed absolute jack squad. And meanwhile on the bottom here, Bamboo already getting the work. You're hitting level 6 as well. You got, actually, this is the most standard build. Oh my god, you just got ulted and a crit hit for the death. Meanwhile on the top river, Bo runs in. And you know, you were saying that the Radiant has no ward. I have no idea why we don't have wards either, because...
I think this was the point where we said we wanted them, but it's a little too late.
Well...
Is he going to get away? Is he seriously going to get away? Will 715 hit this hook? I actually don't remember. Sunstrike wildly missing, but the hook connects. Great play by 715. Gets the kill. Sexy Bambo gets the tower. And Swordbolt to follow. We want to go for the Juggernaut. Soul Catcher on top of him, but he is just too damn fast. And well, as far as item selections go, I have to say Phase Boot's probably the best item you could possibly pick up this early. Dramatic Purge does get through that Blade Fury. He's quite slow. Will we be able to chase him down? One more stun. Not going to get fogged. A much needed kill for the team. Sexy Babo gets a tier 2 tower though, and that's definitely a worthy trade.
To be honest, I think the game's looking up, right? Like, we got ourselves a couple kills. It's gonna quickly look over to the EXP chart. It's not getting out of control, and most importantly, we play that phase basically 5v4 because our Stormster wasn't able to do too much of anything. Now he's level 7, and this is Blitz. Like, this is one of his best heroes. So at that point of the game, I was thinking to myself, man, we have a shot. And look at his item adjustment. Not gonna upgrade a wand, just gonna get more stats, and no talisman. You generally don't see Storms get nose unless you're really far behind, and, well, that's exactly what we see here.
Well, one problem is there's an anti-mage, which has not been addressed, and he is free-farming up top. Is he really going to dive you here? No, it doesn't look like it, but, I mean, he's level 10, he's almost got a Battle Fury, he's gone for that very offensive build. Luminous going to get Toe up top, anti-mage ult to start, the Blade Fury to follow, a lot of damage, and the Sunstrike not going to hit, but getting blocked in. This Lumi really wants those phase boots. Unfortunately, doesn't have them. Sexy Bimbo eats the Soul Catcher as well as a net. Will it be enough? He's still only level 3 on the Shadow Shaman. So under leveled. Sexy Bimbo dropping so low, but the Healy Ward in the trees keep him alive. Great maneuver. If you're ever playing Juggernaut, you can put that Healy Ward in the trees. And look at him microing it now as he's being locked down. The ult cooling down in 10 seconds. Is he going to live? It doesn't look like. Anti-Mage coming in though, blocking out the path. And now we're in a lot of trouble. Bo just getting chewed up. I even used my ultimate. Anti-Mage has the blink if he needs it. He blinks away. Punch charges in. And now I'm getting creep blocked. Are they going to kill me? No, they're a little bit afraid of Lumi, actually. And Ursa, one of the good heroes to have if you can get to this point. Stormbolt going to complete that
nice
kill.
KS, bro.
Hey, this is it.
That phase we still going on Luminous, and we're gonna go for more. And here comes the ultimate on Juggernaut. The spins against the Storm. Storm zips out right now, but Ghetto blinks it. Nice dodge here from the Storm to get away from the last hit. Meanwhile, we do have the Juggernaut finally gets picked off, and now Ghetto going for the Sunstrike. He's gonna miss that one as well. Ghetto on the run. He's got no more mana. Wedgie coming in to help out a little bit, and that is gonna be the end of that engagement. Man, we're actually coming back. As I say that, Bold, of course, gets hooked. He's invis. He's trying to run away from the run range. Bold!
Yo, some big nat packs coming out from 715 there. No, that's a really nice job tracking him. But not running up that hill, perhaps not the smartest thing he's done this game. And, well, he is going to feed. After all, you know, said and done, we're playing very sloppy. I guess the issue here is the Radiant at all times, they have 1 or 2 heroes in a lane getting experience, whereas we seem to be 4 or 5 running around trying to fight. And you said that's what we need to avoid. Well, we're not doing a good job of it.
I mean, it's not really the first 5 minutes where you're going to be down. Like, we were down by 5,000 gold, and if we play perfectly, right, we shouldn't actually be down even further. But if you can see here, we're basically losing more and more ground as the game goes on. Basically, we feel the need that, hey, they got 2, so let's fight them with 3. And they generally will win those fights, and they also generally means they have another hero on the other side of the map. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you're in a situation like this and you're down, you got to be more efficient. You either gank really quick or you just go farm. And to be honest, we're doing neither. And it doesn't help that Bold is just feeding it up. I'm just going to point that out there.
Yeah,
0-6.
He's been at level 3 forever, man. It's, you know, it's been 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, Storm has managed to get to level 9. Everyone else of the team, you know, somewhere between 7 and 9. And this is not to pick on Bode. Out of all our heroes, probably the easiest one to kill. No defensive capabilities. And I use a Stormbolt on creeps, and that's a big problem when they decide to blink it. Anti-Mage gonna make a go here on Wicked. Wicked does have Disruption. Disruption on the Anti-Mage just in time. Sunstrike gonna hit nothing. No, Luminous walks into it. Will he be able to kill the Anti-Mage? Just a question of getting creep blocked. Getting blocked by those Disruption. Wedgie's gonna make it out of here, and then Wicked is the one in a lot of trouble, trying to run away. Disruption still in cooldown forever. One right click, blink it, get a Lobster. And well, Lumi, this is where we start to see the Blink Dagger stack up, and how do you feel about that pickup by the Radiant? Because they get a lot of
I mean, Bamboo right now is trolling the hell out of us, but there's nothing you could do. A nice Ice Wall being dropped, and I'm trying to run. Fortunately, Omni/Hero will follow you. Bo level 4.5 now, but the Blink Dagger from Bamboo just tracking him down. Bo is so damn slow. Gonna get right click down as well. The kills are stacking up. And here's the thing, KFC's been farming freely, and he's got a Blink Dagger flying in, so yeah, more Blink coming our way.
Well, and you know, I really love the Blink Dagger choice of this game. Again, you know, I'm sure you're all thinking, well, it's, you know, you guys were AFK for 5 minutes. What does it really mean? Well, if you're ahead and you get mobility items like this, you knock down towers early. Well, it makes it a lot easier to maintain map control. The more mobile your team is, the quicker you can all join the fight, the more aggressive you can be, and still get out of a bad situation. It's why you see a player like Dendy go for Blink Dagger after Force Staff, a Windrunner. Sure, it helps you set up Shackle Shot, but equally importantly, it just gives you that extra mobility. You can be more active around the map, and you know, even in a troll game like this, it's very effective. Or of course it is in this game, but you know, it can even be effective in those higher level games as well.
To be honest, I was very, very happy they went for Blink and not Dagon. I'll actually take the mobility and try to fight that, but not Dagons, because I feel like if you're fighting against Dagon in under level, you have no chance. But hey, Blink is not too bad. I'm not trying to talk down on Blink or anything like that. As we set up the skank on the mid lane here, I want the people in chat. Type 1 if you think Dire is going to win this game. Type 0 if you think Radiant's going to win the game. And let's see how many zeros we're going to get. Tier 1 push is going to come down here. And LD trying to defend. The double blink comes in right now. And everybody on the Radiant is dying. That might be a very bad time to ask people to type 1 or 0. Because I'm sure some people will be changing their votes right now, man.
Well, we managed to only lose 1 so far. The question is, will we lose anyone else? Looks like poor Bode is dead for sure. A nice dodge there for the hook. Sexy Bimbo, 1 crit, half of his health, and he will go down. Stormbolt flying out onto... Man, I don't like his name in this game. 715 there. LG still retreating. Well, there's that mobility. If you ever have to run, you are not escaping from these guys. At least not with our items.
There's actually... Everybody's trolling in chat in terms of 1s and 0s, and... There's very little 1s, let me tell you that.
I see some 3s, I see some 0-1-0-1. It's not looking good for us, I think that's fair to say.
Well, I think at this time...
They're gonna go high ground, 18 minutes in.
Yo man, we got this, and look at Wicked stacking all those poison. He's got arcane boots, by the way. Like, this guy's rich. I don't even know how he's got the gold, but he's got 5 assists, maybe that's why.
Well, you know, they're going for high ground, but if you look at their team, they're really not built to push this early. They have a 15,000 gold lead. There's no mechanism, there's no pipe, and Blitz is trying to troll here in the back lines, running very low on mana. I think he's out now. One more zip will be enough. Uses the wand, uses the arcade boots. Is he gonna get away? Huge troll here, wasting a lot of time by the radiant. Yeah, one more zip. Blitz just seems to travel twice as far as anyone else. The hook goes right through him. How did that hook not hit? Well, I guess if you're a pro, you get a little bit of the luck to go along with this skill. We might even get a kill here now. Definitely blasted the meteor fly out. Oh man, that's a lot of damage. Lumi ignoring the healing ward, runs in, runs away. Now he wants to get the hell out of here. Sexy Bobo gets the disrupted, hook back in. I eat a hook and I feed. And now the full route is on at this point.
Yo, man. That meteor definitely blasts. Such a strong combination. What level is that Exort right now on that Invoker? He's not even maxed it. He went for the Force Spirit build, which is, you know, not bad by any means, but that definitely blast meteor just took all over HP, and here comes the push. And I don't think we can handle this right now. We're down by 15 kills. Gold about, yeah, a little bit over 15,000. Same thing with EXP. EXP a little bit less than that. And but we're actually in no position to do anything right now. But I mean, I want to point out our item builds because still it's going to be a little bit different from standard. Stormster trying to go for a Robe of Magi, double Robe of Magi into Orchid. And if he actually finished Orchid, he could get a couple kills. Because, like you said, the Radiant's focusing on things like mobility and whatnot. And to be honest, they don't have that much stats or HP to work with.
Yeah, Anti-Mage has power charge, it's not sent them out yet. The Pudge gone for a hand of Midas, actually. So, I mean, a clear troll build here. 715 taking advantage of the 5-minute AFK time. I almost said 7-minute. Yeah, Tranquil Boot's always good on pretty much any hero, I have to say, just for that mobility it gives you on map, as well as the heals. Are we gonna try to take this fight? That would be a horrible idea.
Those Blink Daggers, Gettleofficer's gotten another one as well, man. They're looking for you right now, and you are in big trouble. Oh, that was ultimate, getting a little bit fogged. You're running up the hill, and no. Man, that Mask of Madness on Bamboo as well, so he is basically a speedy demon. We see 3 people diving past our towers into the base, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, Lumi, look at what Blitz is doing right now.
Yep. This is a smart thing to do, right?
This is what we should have been doing all game. Yep. This is what we should have been doing all game.
What is he doing? Spell it out for the viewers at home.
For anyone who he's avoiding the fights, and it was a lot easier to avoid them when the score was 0-0. We made things a lot harder on ourselves, but still, if we can avoid the fights, we have a chance. If we try to take them, well, you've seen how that goes for us. So, you know, Blitz doing the smart thing. He's up to 11, and you know, compare that to Bode. He's level 5. Poor guy. The rest of the team, you know, 8, 10, not where we want to be at all.
I mean, that's why Blitz is captain of Root Gaming, and that's why Bode is Luminous's moderator. So let's give a little bit of perspective on the players. Wedgie running in like he owns the place right now. We still have the glyph, do we? No, we don't have the glyph. Ice Wall just slowing down our advances. Our top racks, our top tower is gonna go down. Bamboo popping the Mask of Madness. He knows he's in charge of this base. He's got a Blink Dagger to get away if necessary. And I'm gonna just pop my Ray, trying to run away, trying to scare people to run away, but they just ignore me. And this Rack's getting siege. Bamboo, nice dodge. And he's got to back off. He's pushed up right now. There's a hook against LD. LD in big trouble. He's going to get bitten up. Meanwhile, Luminous gets one. So 1-for-1 trade here so far. And to be honest, we're going to be responding very quickly. Where the hell's our Stormster? There's a Stormster. He sees Bamboo. Bamboo blinks away. Who's going to go for? He's still going to go for... Oh, he sees Bamboo. Is he going to go for it? He's out of mana at this point. Meanwhile, we're still getting owned. And here comes that Pudge. Pudge does have his ultimate. He's going to get a kill. And will he be okay? He's going to... Oh, he pulls. He gets a double before dying. That's a lot of EXP. And to be honest, our Rax is alive. 1-0, guys. 1-0.
The tower is breached. We're down to 200 health. The Rax don't seem to be long for this world. But that's the kind of thing, guys, especially, like, it's one thing in a pro game, you won't see a team with a lead like this lose very often. Most of you guys are pub players. I'm sure there are maybe a handful of people who are trying to become competitive. But even in lower tiers competition, you can win games like this.
Hey.
As outrageous as the lead is,
people
make mistakes.
I got some pros that watch a stream, so, you know. Don't be all blanketing, you guys all pubs.
But, yeah, I mean, you know, it's... Every team, there's always that potential for throw. There's always the potential to overextend, to overestimate how aggressive you can afford to be. You know, nobody is a robot. Even Bendy, you know, no matter how good you think someone is, they make mistakes. You see it all the time. And well, if you play conservatively, if you play it safe, you might have an opportunity to give opponents an overextension. Oh, this is the... Actually, he's gonna back off of Bode here. Bambo using that map where it sees 5 off the map. Could easily have killed Bode if he knew that we weren't there, but we're gonna make it go with Wedgie. Oh, this is a hard kill. Killed a secure Bambo, blinks back in. And he gets disrupted. Will it be enough? I'm trying to right click. No, I popped the ult to run. Great use of that. Sven's got straight. I'm not sure it's going to be sufficient.
Well,
if Wedgie blinks again, we might turn this one on him, though.
I have to tell you that a Stormbolt, looks like there's a blinking ultimate, and LD's going to take a lot of it. Looks like we're going to survive, and we're going to kill Bamboo right here. Blinking from KFC, but that huge meteor on top of everything. Luminous going to die. LD's going to die. Our tower's going to die. Anti-Mage blinks out. All right, come on, man.
Where's Blitz? Where's Blitz during this fight? This is where you need your storm.
Blitz,
I gotta say.
Blitz is doing that smart thing. He's got his Orchid finish, and in theory, he could go for a couple kills on mid, but there's three people there. And let's see if the Gree's going to get the better of him.
I completely agree it was a smart thing to do there, but when they're actually diving your tier 3 and the tower's still up, you gotta fight. I mean, if you don't follow more trap attempted, not gonna be enough. The Cold Snap to follow, zip in from behind by Blitz, try to bait the team as best he can. Doing a lot of damage with the Anti-Mage ult. Anti-Mage, one of the best heroes to counter Storm if you get ahead, because that ult will just absolutely murder him. Well, you saw it there. Still, it's not a bad trade for us. I get hooked in. Immediate Storm Bolt, but we really can't fight this.
That is the second time in a row where Wicked just disrupts Raleigh and it costs us kills. I think we might have been able to kill Pudge if there's a Soul Catcher instead of Disruption. Any case, well, Wicked starting to play for the other team, Mutiny, on Team DC, man.
I think they're going to go high ground here. The ward's trying to do what they can defensively, but level 1 ward's just not strong enough. The healing ward, this is the power of that healing ward. I used to see players just skip it completely. The move speed got buffed on it a couple of patches. I think it's been a while at this point. We're going to make it go at Sexy Bambo. Stormbolt, Eddie's held in place, but Pudge immediately cancels that and just can't catch Sexy Bambo. He is playing absolutely brilliantly in this game. 715 tanking the entire team. Stormbolt, unfortunately, a cooldown, and this is what Lumi means when he calls Sven a big melee creep when he's playing support, when he's behind in the levels. You're seeing it now. Blitz trying to solo the entire enemy team. Will he be able to do it? It looks like he just might. Oh, perfect control. Gets a bunch more kills.
Man, we still got the siege unit that's working on our racks, and we're gonna get her as well. Racks successfully defended. Like you said, perfect control, not wasting a single charge of overload. If you want to learn Storm, well, this might be a pub wacky game with 5 minutes of AFK, but Storm is perfect play. And I want to point out right now, just look at EXP. They have 16, 13, 15, 13, 11, or Storm is 17. Just throwing that out there.
Well, you know, we're all feeding them, right? So they're getting ahead in levels. They were already ahead. But then when they feed those kills back, and particularly when it's one hero getting those kills, suddenly you just skyrocket forward. It's very much a rubber band effect. You know, this is a point in the game where if they make a few mistakes, Storm is the perfect hero to have to mount a comeback in the situation. Because if a fight goes well for him, he can snowball to victory. He's got that momentum. Oh, this is not looking good, Lumi. Everyone's in a lot of trouble. That disruption, not the best. It wouldn't have mattered, though. And you're going to blink out. Nice juke by Luminous. Will it be enough? Courier in a dangerous position here. Sexy Bambo wants it. He uses the best bet. Is he still chasing that Courier? My eyes are completely on this. His heroes die all around. He goes for the racks. He backs out. Luminous still alive, remarkably so. But Blitz is the one who's in a lot of trouble. No points of mana. Cannot escape. And Sexy Bambo slices him to pieces.
Man. The camera control in this game is so damn hard because unlike a pro game where a team fight happens in a very well-mannered, concentrated in one place, man, pub team fights, they are all over the place. Bamboo chasing Courier, hitting a Rax for once, chasing a Storm Spirit, and, well, I got most of the kills. But unfortunately right now, we still have an uphill push. There's no more Glyph. Tower's really low right now, and Luminous have to defend this. We have to go defend this.
We're not going to. If we give up one set of racks, will it be enough?
Time to start play serious. We give him one lane of racks. Oh my god, I get hooked, and I get pulled back, and here's the huge mirror. Nice disruption defensively. So far, I'm still alive. Nice blink out by Luminous to save himself. Unfortunately, there's no blink out option for that range racks, and he's taking some dig damage. Now Ursa gets cycling in the air and gets hooked there by 715, hitting that one like fish in a barrel. And where's our Storm? Storm's still dead for 17, and unfortunately, I think we are pretty much dead here.
We had that ray of hope, you know, Blitz, he tried so hard, but we're not just going to lose this mid-racks either. The top ones are exposed. They've actually healed up about 800 health, but it's not going to matter. That healing ward is going to keep them in business all day long. It's a massive experience and gold lead. Oh, Lumi, this was a tough one.
I mean, the game's pretty close. 42-19, I mean.
It was I have to say, they did not play this well, considering how much of advantage they could have gotten. The heroes they could have picked. At the same time, neither did we. Both teams really not, making the best decisions. And hey, the team with the massive advantage probably gonna win in that case. We had to play perfectly, or at least very well, and well, we didn't exactly do that.
And now you're gonna witness a little bit more stat pan, but here comes Luminous trying to kill someone 5, and Stormster, he's zipping, he's looking for Bamboo, he's gonna see Bamboo, and we're gonna kill Bamboo. Here comes the second one, Ghetto, down to half HP, and now here comes Blitz. Is he gonna get a slow off? Yes, he is. Now one more kill, but the Blink Echo, I think we're fine against the Shaker. Luminous should be okay, but no, here comes the Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage now chasing against Stormster. Will Stormster be okay? He's got the Orchid finish, so in fact, he could actually go kill for KFC if he wants to do so. Stormster is juking right now. I think he's gonna die here. Just zip.
Your base.
Huh? What?
Oh, nice juke. Nice juke. Sexy Bimbo blinks up onto the high ground, but he holds down onto the low ground. That's something Lumi wasn't expecting. Still, Lumi tanks the entire thing. He's making it go into KFC. KFC dropping low. I'm pretty much just getting body blocked, doing absolutely nothing all game, except for throwing out that Storm Bolt occasionally. Sten really not a good hero to have in this situation. Blinking Clap secures the kill. Sexy Bimbo still on the retreat. Actually, I think he's baiting this one, but I have vision. Little does he know, he's just gonna calmly trot away. Where's Blitz? He's healing up back at base. He actually didn't make it into the fountain. Maybe I'll tap the Skype. There's that Dagon, and well, Lim, you said you were afraid of it. I think we're seeing the power of it now.
Yo, he's trying to spin to get away. He's out of mana at this point, and you have a Storm Bolt. We're not going for him instead. Oh, I think because I ported back out. What a pussy play. But now Bamboo come in, and he's gonna get melted. Bamboo says no.
Kill secured.
I'm sure they got buyback and whatnot. And look at how farmed the Storms are. Despite how much we're losing, I just want to say, man, this is a good storm. Really, really good storm.
Yeah, it's just it goes to show you that Dota is a team game, right? Because no matter how well Blitz has played, and frankly, I would say he's played better than anyone else in the game, and it's not really even close. Although Bambo's played pretty well, it just doesn't matter, there's too much dead weight on the team. If you learn nothing else from this, you learn that Dota is a team game, and while sometimes you'll see a player carry his team to victory, he's got to have some help along the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how 715 saw me. Other than stream sniping, there's no wards. There's no wards.
Big map hack. Pretty obvious there.
715, I know you have a bad pudge, but don't try to compensate by stream sniping. Oh! Alright, and another thing that we're trying to show with this replay is, you can see that even if you have a poor start, I hate a lot of players where they go like, oh my god, we're down by 5 kills, let's just type out AFK in the fountain, wait for them to push. Like, even you have such a horrible start like this, if you make enough right plays, you can come back. I mean, at one point in the game, our Stormster is the highest level, and if the rest of the team play a little bit better, we could have had it, to be honest.
Right, I mean, I think the big mistake was those early kills, because, I mean, it's not just what you give up, it's also the way you affect their mentality. Like, they're expecting to get those easy kills or win. If you don't give up any, then maybe they get a little bit frustrated. If they're going for them, maybe they overextend, you punish them for it. But as soon as you start giving up those early kills, they get confident, they can get more aggressive. And you see this in a lot of pro matches too. I mean, even teams that are pretty calm, they want to get into a good rhythm. They want to it doesn't have to be emotional for them, but they want to get into their comfort zone. And if you give them those early kills, you're setting them up for that.
Alright, I think it is no surprise to anybody now that we're not gonna win this game. As we're down by 24 kills, the hooks are raining down, getting surrounded. But here comes Luminous. Want to take one down? Right? Right? No? Alright, okay. This is a good time as any to talk about our next week's challenge. And
well, no, before we do that, I think we should sort of wrap this up.
Okay, let's wrap this up, and then we'll do the next week challenge.
Alright, so how do we want to do this? Do we want to poll the chat, ask them some questions? Do we want to sort of give...
I don't know, man. Shoot, you tell me.
What do you think?
You tell me.
Alright, well, I guess I'll start, and then you guys from the chat, feel free to chime in, disagree. The way that I look at it, the goal of this challenge is to show you how time is a resource in Dota.
Yep.
And how, everyone notices gold and experience as resources because, well, there are graphs for those in the game. Lumi has oftentimes, in a lot of his educated material, he's talked about how item slots are a resource. And there's more than just gold and experience. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, overlook that. Your item slots are a resource. Even your hotkeys could be a resource if you have a crazy large creep army. I mean, there's so many things that are maybe a little bit unconventional to think of, but time, one of the very most important resources, and it just shows you the power of those first 5 minutes, the power of the early game. Even if your team's feeding, you'll see a team in a very similar situation to this one. Of course it's worse to be AFK and getting nothing for 5 minutes, but if you feed, if you give up that early advantage, it can be very difficult to come back. Still, like you said, you're never out of it until the hero dies.
Yep. And also, this game I feel like is very momentum based. This game, as in Dota in general, you can be down by 7,500 gold, 7,500 EXP, and still have a very, very good chance of winning the game. And a lot of times I see, pubs in general just get demoralized too quickly and too easily. Don't. I mean, you have a shot at winning the game. And to be honest, you're going to play 10 of those games and you're going to lose 9 out of them, but that one time you win, it feels so damn good, like counter warding. It feels almost as good as that. So,
yeah, completely agree. And I guess, with that being said, if anybody, if you have any questions or things that you're curious about, feel free to post them in the chat. But for now, I think it is a good time to introduce next week's topic, as we're getting close to that 50-minute mark or so, and probably looking to wrap the show up fairly soon.
Yep. You wanna talk about next week's? Oh, actually, yeah, you talk about the topic because you're a little bit more eloquent in explaining it. But let me tell you where to actually send in that email. It is to thedotashow@gmail.com. I'm pretty sure our very, very faithful moderators will be able to put that in. thedotashow@gmail.com. You can send in the replay ID, and we will select the best to actually cast it next Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. So what's the topic for next week, LD?
Alright, next week it's a very simple challenge, and by the way, you can't do the 5-minute AFK challenge anymore as of this most recent patch, because apparently Valve has added some logic to prevent you from just sitting in Fountain. So if you actually want to end a game early, the only way you can do it is if all 5 of your team agree to end it and disconnect. Otherwise, someone's going to get to leave. So, this one's one for the history books.
Even if we're moving around in our base, we can't do that?
According to Bruno, according to Wicked from this game, it's been changed to the most recent patch. I haven't looked at the patch notes, but either way, the challenge for next week, very simple. There's only one rule. You can't go back to the Fountain unless you die. Now, it sounds easy, but let me tell you, if you actually look at any average game and the number of trips people take back to the Fountain, whether you buy a lot of regen items or not, it's a lot more than you think. So the only rule for next week, or for the next week, for the challenge that we'll be broadcasting our favorite replay from next Thursday, you cannot go back to the Fountain unless your hero dies.
I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know if you're going to bottle crow, send yourself south all the freaking time. Whatever that might be, but, like 40 minutes in a game and you're playing Storm Spirit and you can't make a Fountain trip home, yeah, that's going to be rough. That's going to be really, really rough. Also, the thing is, it's going to be a 5-man challenge, so get your team to play this with you. So I think that's very, very simple. And yeah, that's going to do it for our entire broadcast today. And actually, this is a good time also to summarize what happened this week in case you want to catch every episode for the Dota show. And we'll tell you where to find it. Monday, we had a trivia thing. We gave away some great prizes. We're going to have a trivia again. Did I say Monday? I meant Sunday. We're going to have it on Sunday again. Monday, we had LD begin his Dota 101, talking about hero roles and how to pick those heroes. Very good for newbies who is just coming into the game. Tuesday, I talked about very, very advanced warding, lane warding, counter warding, and all that jazz. Wednesday, yesterday, we had LD talked about Windrunner play, and of course, you just witnessed today's kind of 5-minute AFK challenge. And of course, you're going to find all of it on thecommentaries.com as well as on the Blip TV archive. We're going to keep both places relatively updated, so if you want to watch any of the episodes, you can. And also, it's going to be on our YouTube channels, respectively. So if I'm streaming, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. If LD's streaming, it's going to be on LD's channel. Yep, so...
Yeah, let me just throw a couple of things on top of that. First of all, I want to give a big thanks to everyone who participated this week, whether you just participated in the chat, whether you were involved in the trivia show and actually came on, not only to our special guests and, the more well-known people like Reaver Zai and Toby1, but also all the community members. We really appreciate having you guys aboard. To everyone who's been giving us feedback, we appreciate that, and please continue to do so. I only ask that you keep it constructive so that we can make the show better. If you just flame us, well, it's not going to help us make the show better. So please keep the feedback coming. I can say for myself personally, well, I think the 2 segments I did were helpful. I will be working hard to make them even better, and I'm sure Lumi will be doing the same for his segments, although I personally thought his was great. As far as these more fun things go, if you have any ideas on how it could be more fun, please let us know. And whether it's submitting a challenge idea or even tweaking the format, all of the feedback is fantastic. We really appreciate it. And I guess the last thing that I'll say is, please, guys, do attempt the challenge. It's a lot of fun. And also, we'd love to have a little bit more variety in the replays. We only got a few this week, and thanks to those who submitted.
Yep.
But try and make the games as fun and entertaining as possible, because our goal with this day, it is to educate, but first and foremost, it is to entertain.
I mean, to be honest, I had a grand old time playing. I know you were like kind of a little bit angry and flaming, but I had a grand old time flaming,
No,
playing.
I wasn't mad.
And even though we lost, it's fun. Now, again, one more time, thedotashow@gmail.com is the email you want to send your match ID to. Also, we're looking for a couple of helpers because, I mean, we're going to be expecting a couple of replays coming in. And to be honest, we don't have time to look through all the replays, and we actually don't want to be spoiled the replay as well. So basically, we need a couple of guys to volunteer to look through the replays and tell us which one is good to cast, and we'll just cast those cold. Like, we don't want to know, oh, you know, this team will lose in 40 minutes. That's
Right,
it kind of
like
takes away the cast. So if you want to participate and help us out to sift through replays, also send us an email at thedotashow@gmail.com. That will be...
and I'm going to put that in chat now again. So this is the email for the show, guys. thedotashow@gmail.com. If you have feedbacks, you can send it there. If you have replay IDs for the challenge, you can send them there. You know, if you participate in the trivia challenge and for some reason you don't get it, you don't get your prize, you can't get a hold of us, you can email that and we'll take care of it. So for all your needs related to the show, that is the place to go. And I guess the last thing I'll say is, if you guys are enjoying the show, if you're tuning in and you're liking the direction it's taking, please spread the word to your friends. So let everyone know about it, and hopefully we can build up the audience and get more people involved. Because obviously the bigger audience we have, the more work. We're already working very hard on the show, but the more people that tune in, we can really reach that wider audience and provide the best possible content for everyone. So if you enjoy it, please spread the word.
Yep, that's gonna do it for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, and this is LD, Luminous, and the DotaCompTears.com signing off to you guys.